there. It's a Married with Channels podcast. I'm Moose.
And I'm Jodie.
We're the married couple that watches TV shows and talks about it on the podcast. Make sure you give us a review, a good rating and whatnot.
Yeah.
On the Apple Podcast or the Google Play or the Blim Sama Ear Lover.
Oh, is that a thing? Okay.
I just made that
We're on
up.
that now. All right.
That's my thing now.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll get to the season/series finale of Mare of Easttown a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll also touch on stuff we just couldn't finish. Like, we just
Stuff we tried, we didn't like it.
tried it. Meh.
Yeah.
We start, though, with a little different thing, which is, on this podcast, we talk about shows that we watch together.
Yeah.
But there are also shows, obviously, being that we are human. Excuse me.
Yeah. Technical difficulty in this little tiny podcast studio.
So there's also shows that we watch without each other.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, you just want to check something out, and I'm like, whatever. I don't really care about that, or vice versa, right?
Right. And so we'll start off with that. The stuff that I'm watching that Jodie's not, the stuff that Jodie's watching that I'm not.
Yeah.
And we kind of check in with it a little bit.
Yeah,
on
that's
each
what I
other's
was going to
thing.
say at the end. Like, it's funny because even though you're kind of watching something separately from me, or I'm watching something different than you, we both kind of get interested in each other's shows a little bit too.
Yeah,
It's
a little
funny.
bit. There's definitely stuff there that is going to be interesting. Like, we'll start with yours.
Yeah, so I've been following it for a long time, but right now I am watching the current season of The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu.
Yeah. And, you are into that show.
Yeah, very much.
And you'll watch it occasionally, like when I'm downstairs doing the Twitch show.
Yeah.
Or, a voice job or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll come up and you'll be watching. You'll have maybe 15, 20 minutes left.
I just can't turn it off. I
Yeah.
just can't stop watching it.
I know.
Yeah.
It has, I definitely get it. I remember we started it together.
Yeah.
And after like the first episode, I think we got halfway through the second one. I was kind of like, this is just too dark.
Yeah,
like, this
you
is,
thought it was very depressing
Well,
and sad, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And it has to be, you have to remember the context of why I felt that way. Because at the time, we'll just say things in the world weren't great. Things in
Yeah.
this country weren't great. There's a lot of, it just seemed like, and I'm extrapolating big time, that maybe things could have headed that way.
Like, you could see this as our possible future.
It certainly seemed more realistic than
Wow.
ever before.
Wow, that's interesting. I could see why then you would be like, I don't want to watch this.
It was just like, I just wasn't in the mindset for that.
Sure.
And so I bowed out.
Yeah.
And you kept watching.
Yeah.
And when I check it out, there's some interesting stuff going on there. I know, I don't want to be the guy who comes in halfway through the movie like, well, what's he doing that for? Why are they doing that?
It's funny. I was just going to bring that up. Like, sometimes you're a lurker with questions. You're like, oh, what's he doing that for?
Yeah,
And I'm like,
you do that too.
Pause. I
Yeah.
get it. I totally get it. I'm like, pause. Okay, let me explain the last 3 seasons to you. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Yeah,
It's endearing. I'm not complaining.
but I still don't have any interest in getting into all of it.
You won't go
I-
rewatch it from the beginning?
No,
Ah,
I don't
okay.
think so. Even if there's nothing on, or
Yeah.
I'm not bagging on it. It's a good
Sure.
show. It's just not something I'm really digging.
Okay. That's okay.
But when I do watch it,
Yeah.
I'm interested in what's going on.
Yeah.
What happened to her eye? Why is I can't think of the actor's name. Brad Whitford.
Yes.
that his
Bradley
name?
Whitford. Yeah.
Yeah, is he a good guy, a bad guy? What's
Not
his
sure.
deal? That sort of
Yeah.
thing. So it's very well done, and there's some interesting stuff there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm also a big fan of Elizabeth Moss. I think she's great. I loved
great.
her, Mad Men, Top of the Lake, Now This.
Yeah, I hope
you
they
know.
come back with another Top of the Lake. I like that
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, that was very good.
That is very much like Mare of Easttown in a way.
Yeah.
And again, we'll get to that season finale, Mare of Easttown, here in a
Yeah.
little bit. But So that's kind of the only thing you're really watching without me, right? Are you cheating on me? You watch something else without me?
No, that's about it. I checked out a couple other things, but they didn't pan out. So this is the one I'm really kind of all in on right now. So, yeah.
Yeah. As far as what I'm watching, that Jodie's not. So I started the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
Yeah.
And I'm very much piecemealing it. I'm probably 45 minutes to an hour into that 4-hour monstrosity. So I'm in no rush to finish that up.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of checking out here and there little bits and pieces. And it's so far much better than the original movie.
Okay.
But, and I think you've caught a little bit of me watching that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. It's a popcorn movie.
Sure.
But the one I picked up here recently over the last few days is Mr. In Between, which is it's an Australian show about a guy who's, he served time in prison and he's kind of like a criminal for hire, works mostly for this club owner dude and, kills people. But he has a little daughter and he's still kind of a good guy, but he does bad things. And you and I started this at one point, much like Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid?
The Handmaid's Tale.
The Handmaid's Tale. Okay.
Yeah.
We started, we got through like most of the first episode, and I don't know why, but we just never really grabbed onto it.
Yeah, I do recall watching like the first one with you. But I think I told you like, I don't really know about this one.
And I was kind of the same way, I believe.
Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of that and a little bit of maybe some other stuff was more binge-worthy, watch-worthy.
Sure.
So, that just kind of teetered away.
Yeah.
But over the last few days, I've seen the ads for the new season, and I'm like, check this out again. And I'm just starting episode 2 of season 2.
Yeah.
And I like it. I think it's interesting. It has an interesting tone. It's an interesting concept. It's kind of like Breaking Bad, but reverse.
Sure.
In a way.
I pop in on this one every once in a while, and what I see I like. So I don't know why maybe it just got better as episodes went along. I don't know, but
yeah.
It also doesn't hurt that they have Australian accents, which I love.
You love you some Australian.
I do.
I do know since I've been watching Mr. In Between, I do slip in some Aussie once in a while. Like, look at that bloke over there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're not complaining.
No.
But it's a good show. I like Mr. In Between, and I have to put on the captions though, because sometimes their Aussie gets a little like, what's a dinny? You know, like
we had to Google that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a wonton.
Yeah.
Dimmy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then they call the bathroom something else, kind of like that, like a dinny with an
dingy,
N.
Wasn't it? Dingy?
I don't even know.
I don't know either.
But that's not really related to captions. It's mostly because they talk so fast without an Australian accent. Like, yo, Mike, if they what's called dingy, what they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
like,
that
what did he say?
But Mr. In Between, digging it.
Yeah.
I like.
Yep. So sometimes we can't come together on a show or shows, and sometimes we do our own thing, which is cool.
Sometimes we watch other shows without our spouse. Don't tell, Jesus. But should we move on to Mare of Easttown?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the podcast brought to you by Honey. Go to joinhoney.com/married and join the over 17 million members who have saved $2 billion with the Honey plugin. Mare of Easttown, that is a show that was really good. Really dig that show. Right?
Yeah, I'm kind of sad it's over, honestly. Yeah, those good ones. When they end, I'm always like, oh, that's it.
It's interesting, these shows like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this show, but it's not nearly as good. The Undoing. These type of shows where they're like 7-8 episodes long.
Yeah, they're building to something.
And you're thinking like, oh, it should be 10 or 13 episodes.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's kind of like a long movie.
Yes.
That they've quite literally spread out over 7-8 episodes. And so when you look at it that way, you're like, oh, I'm kind of getting my money's worth here.
Yep.
But Mare of Easttown, big spoilers coming, by the way.
Yeah, big time.
The Mare of Easttown finale was great. I mean, it was interesting how John, it was revealed he was about to kill Billy in the river.
Yes.
Mare's there, stops it, arrests him. He confesses to killing Aaron.
Yes. He confesses to their relationship and that he's DJ's father and that he killed her.
He kizzled her.
Yes.
But then so when that happens, there's still about 45 minutes left in the episode.
Yeah,
so you're kind of like,
pause it to see like the time check, and I'm like, oh, this isn't over by a long shot.
No, unless this is the world's first 15-minute finale episode.
Yeah.
But so it took, it's not quite what it seems. So they had a couple little twists for the finale, and it all made sense. Bottom line is the kid, John's kid, killed Aaron.
Yeah.
Shot her, borrowed a gun from a former cop who he mows the yard for, and put the gun back. And it's interesting how it all comes back, because the whole show started at that house with that guy's now deceased wife.
Yeah.
Complaining about a peeper.
Yep.
And so it kind of comes back to that household.
Yeah.
And here, so the kid Ryan confesses to the killing. Here's a little bit of audio from his confession.
I swear, I was only trying to scare her. She tried to grab the gun away from me, and we fought over it.
Yeah, he was trying to scare her, but, as can happen.
Something happened. Yeah.
Yeah, struggle ensues, gun goes off, and...
Which, I can see where the one shot as they were struggling happened, but then they don't really show the second. Was she shot in the face? And I'm kind of like, wow, he has pretty good aim for a 13-year-old kid who's probably, I don't know if he's handled a gun before or grew up handling a gun, but I'm like, that's pretty good shot.
Well, he was only about 5 feet away from her.
True.
It wasn't very far. I mean, center mass from 4 or 5 feet. A lot of people can do that, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. So also, like, the kid, got the first shot off that severed her thumb, right? Was it her thumb that they found in the park? Part of her finger or something?
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
So then he had to fire it again.
Yeah.
Like, on purpose, though.
Yeah, that wasn't
was kind of
a struggle shot. That was a kill shot.
Yeah, so that was a little off for me in that confession. Like, I don't know. And the reason why I bring that up is because, they kind of painted John to be kind of this guy who's never accountable for anything. And I was wondering, like, oh, is Ryan kind of maybe psychopath too? Like, following in some of those kind of footsteps? Maybe I'm reading way too much into that, but I don't know. He fired the first round, but then he purposefully did the second,
I would just write that off as a 13-year-old kid panicked.
Yeah, maybe.
I think he probably just had a little panic and it's like, squeeze.
Yeah, okay. Huh.
That's just kind of my guess on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so, it's interesting. John covered for his son. I was a little pissed at
John and Lori.
I was a little pissed at Lori, like, got mad at Mare for essentially doing her job.
Yeah.
And she eventually came around. They seemed to patch it up at the end there.
Yeah, they did.
But, it didn't quite go the way you thought it would. We all knew going into this finale that John was the guy.
Yeah.
Billy maybe, but probably John. He had the gun in the tackle box.
Yep.
But after 15 minutes, you're like, okay, this isn't going to be quite just John and that's it. And 45 minutes of, wow, the town's not going to be the same now. Or,
Yep.
But I like how she gets custody of DJ because Annie, who's the junkie mother of DJ?
She gets custody of Drew, her grandson.
Drew, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because it's Carrie.
Right. She essentially
slipped up. She relapsed.
She realized she can't do it.
Yep, she realized she can't take care of him and that he's better, safer with her.
Can I throw out one beef with this show?
Yeah.
Is what was the point of Guy Pearce's character?
don't know. I was wondering that too.
Other than like they're trying to make some like statement about, just the love interest, how usually that's a woman's role in some of these, like we're flipping things backwards. We got the lead detective is a lady and the love interest is a dude, and he's nothing. There's no character development here. He's just a love interest.
I don't know. I kind of felt like maybe it was to symbolize some hope for a happy life for Mare. When we first meet her, she seems like somebody who doesn't have a lot going on good in her life. And, maybe it's just to kind of symbolize that new hope that, she could have a normal sort of relationship again,
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
In service of Mare's character, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe they're trying to build a possible love triangle back when Zabel was still alive, and they were kind of getting close. No.
I don't know.
I do have a theory about Dylan, though.
Yeah.
It was kind of left open as to why Dylan was so adamant about burning those journals and diaries.
Yeah.
I don't know if we got closure. My theory on that is that when he was in the hospital, I remember when the baby was crying and his mom was not available, and he got out of his hospital bed and came up and comforted and calmed the baby. I think at that moment, and correct me if I'm wrong if I'm forgetting something, I think at that moment he became bonded with the kid. Like he started to really love the kid there.
Yeah.
And so my theory on him being so adamant about burning those Bible or diaries, journals of Aaron's, is he wanted to get rid of the evidence that DJ is John's baby. Like he wanted all the journal entries about, John is the daddy and I love him. We're going to be together.
I think didn't the girl,
Jess?
I think Jess said that they did that because they wanted his parents to keep DJ.
Yeah, so that's kind of along the lines of what I'm theorizing.
But I think
here.
she actually said that out loud when the police chief asked her, like, what I know what his reasoning was, what was yours, and so I think she kind of said that out loud that she was trying to honor her friend because Aaron would have wanted his parents to keep the baby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll? And I think they framed it as a series finale. Yeah. Do you think they'll come back with another season? I think you could do that.
I think you could. I think it would have to have, some of the same players, but some new
obviously.
Faces.
I think there's something really cool about a small town type murder investigation where, like, Mare knew basically everybody involved. I think that's interesting. That makes things a lot more eggshells, harder to maneuver. It's not like in the big city where you got a murder 4 blocks away and that's, you probably don't know the victims or anybody involved. But
sure. There's history there. There's
she's got to maybe look at, her former basketball teammate as a suspect.
Well, and I think, they kind of allude to that in this show where, do you remember kind of in the beginning where she was looking for Katie? She hadn't solved the Katie case yet, know, and basically like it's a small town, so they knew who the kids were that were getting into the drugs and prostitution and stuff like that. And so she it almost clouded her judgment in that case because she just viewed Katie Bailey as another teen gone wrong, And so, sometimes that history and that kind of complicated relationship stuff kind of gets in the way of maybe seeing it from an outsider's perspective. That's where maybe Zabel coming in that's a fresh pair of eyes and a clean perspective on working that case.
Yeah.
So it could be a good thing or a bad thing, I think.
Totes. But Mare of Easttown, I think you could do another season.
I think you could too. I mean, she's a good detective. I could see her going to other places to help them. I mean, it's a small town, so like if you have a lot of murders going on there, you might have a problem. I don't know. I would think like maybe she could branch out to other areas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
I think there's something you could do there and keep it kind of small towny.
Sure.
Anything else on Mare of Easttown?
No, I just really liked it. It was sad when it was done. It was well done. They pretty much tied up all the loose ends for me. There weren't any like, wait a minute, you didn't talk about this part, you know?
Yeah, no, very well done show.
Yeah, I liked it.
Pace, writing, acting, it was all good.
Yeah.
All right. Know what the kids are watching?
Nope. She got herself a little grounded.
She's I think she was still grounded last time we did this. Yeah, because it was last Monday that she got grounded, and we record on Tuesday.
Yes, so she's almost out of the grounded stage here.
In lieu of that, have we done the thing before? We haven't.
Yeah, we did it one time, I think.
It's a pseudo regular segment. We tried it. Meh.
We didn't like it.
Yeah, there's a couple shows to get to later on, but you know, it just got released a week or two ago, and I've seen a lot of buzz about it. It's one of the top Netflix streamers. I think it's in the top 10. Army of the Dead.
Yes.
With Dave Bautista, directed by Zack Snyder. Who else is in there?
The movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. Gosh, there's no other real. Garrett Dillahunt, but nobody really knows him.
No.
Interviewed him once. Nice guy. But
the guy from Sons of Anarchy, is that him?
No.
Oh, okay. Who's that guy?
Garrett Dillahunt?
No, the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, Charlie something.
Okay.
But Army of the Dead, we started it, and you were a fan of the opening scene, and I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
But it slowly got really boring.
Like right after that opening scene, I was like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and we're watching it, and they get to the part where they're going into the, zombified Las Vegas.
Yep.
And, then all of a sudden they do this thing where, like, there's a zombie queen, and you have to sacrifice somebody, and they'll let you pass or something. And
and like a zombie tiger.
Yeah, okay. I'm not a zombie purist. You want to do that stuff, okay. And I just don't know why. It just wasn't doing anything for me. It just wasn't. There was nothing there. I was like, I need to see what else is going to happen. I just,
Yeah.
And also, I think I was annoyed by the cinematography, like the look.
Yeah.
This very shallow depth of field where, the camera's right on somebody's face and they pull back and everything behind them is blurred out.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going for there. And don't even get me started on the dead pixels. Have you heard about that?
No.
There are, and it's not just people's players or streaming connections.
Yeah.
There are literally dead pixels in the movie. People
Really?
have paused it and circled it and put it on Twitter. Yeah.
Really?
Which is just wholly unacceptable.
Huh.
But that's not a huge thing.
It could be because the film underwent reshoots after several sexual misconduct allegations were made against cast member Chris D'Elia?
Delia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they looped in Tig Notaro.
Yeah, using green screens and CGI.
It was really good. Like, you could hardly tell.
Yeah.
I heard on another podcast, they said you'd notice it, and usually I can catch that stuff. I thought it looked good. I thought it looked great. Pretty seamless. But she was probably the highlight of that 40 minutes of it that we watched.
I don't know, that whole part of like recruiting his friends, the gist of it is that Las Vegas is walled off full of zombies. They have to recruit a crew to go in there and rob, what is it, like 200 million?
200 million, yeah. Yeah, the owner of a casino.
A casino vault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the owner of the casino. And why do you need a safecracker? Doesn't the owner of the casino have the codes to the vault?
Right? I mean, I don't know why maybe you need electricity to open the vault and there isn't any in this city because it's all kind of in ruins. But the other plot point is they have to do it before the government just drops a nuclear bomb on the city.
Yeah.
So.
And the concept's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know,
it's okay.
and it kind of makes you think, $200 million?
Yeah.
Got to go through some zombies? And I've got military training. Maybe I'd take that shot.
I don't know. They have like a crew of 12. You got to split that out quite a few ways.
Yeah. The only downside of not watching this, I think, is I wanted to do a Deadpool on it. You know, like
funny.
to see who dies first.
Yeah.
Because as you see these characters, you start to get an idea of like, okay, that guy's dead. He's going to be the first to die. Oh, she'll die.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it ultimately would have boiled down to, and again, we haven't finished the movie, but Dave Bautista and his daughter.
Yeah.
They're the last two.
Well, that's what I said. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, everybody's dying except for those two.
Yeah. And then he sacrifices himself.
Yeah. To
So
save
that
her.
because, you know, their relationship is not the best, and this is his redemption with her.
Yeah. I don't know. We just couldn't get back to it, stick it out, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
We
And,
just don't want to.
and I like Dave Bautista. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of blew me away with his small role in Blade Runner 2049. Like he's a pro wrestler, but
Yeah.
he's a good actor. Like he's
Sure.
pretty good. And he's got good charisma, but this one, he was not there. I just
Yeah.
didn't see anything there
Yep.
from him.
Yep.
Yeah, Army of the Dead.
Eh. I mean, Zombie Strippers was kind of funny though. The zombie like Vegas showgirls. They were kind of funny.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, that opening
Yeah.
credits
Like-
scene.
Oh, hello, there's zombie showgirls.
Zombie Showgirls.
Yeah.
This is a better zombie movie.
What?
Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Ah, yes.
That was a much more enjoyable movie.
Sure.
And oh yeah, you could see it. It wasn't shallow depth of field all the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Army of the Dead,
Yeah.
it's on the list of, we tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
All right.
All right. That's going to do it for us. If you like anything we do, any of these podcasts made you go, oh, or oh, no, so wrong. Give us a review on it. Review us on the Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or wherever you rate your podcasts.
Yeah. And share and tell your friends.
Tell all your friends. And make sure you subscribe and go to joinhoney.com/married and get your free honey plug-in and save some money with your online shopping. Until next week, this is Married with Channels podcast. My name is Moose.
And I'm Jodie.
We'll see you.
Bye.